Hi, my name is Janai Lane, and I'm the founder of Spirit Coach Training. I want to talk to you a little bit about fear and how to handle it when it arises. Fear can be a difficult thing, and we tend to try to run from fear or push it away or distract ourselves. But fear has to be included in the human experience. And in fact, every time we include it, we are able to move through our fear and act from love. And so, as love is our nature, our very nature, then it is so important to understand that it is love that holds one's fear. And, if you think about fear, something frightens you, we contract. There's a contraction in our breath becomes shallow, there's a contraction in the body. And these days, there's a lot to be fearful about, and we're getting triggered continuously. So we're walking around kind of like this in an extended state. And that is really not healthy for the body, for the mind, for the soul, right? And so one of the things that we can do is to soften around fear. Soften. So soften to me is open. It's an opening. And when we soften around fear, just soften, what happens is it begins to relax and dissipate and dissolve. Now, how do we do that? This is the key. And I would say that one of the ways that we can very easily soften around fear is kindness. Kindness. We think of kindness as an act, and it often is, but it's actually a frequency. It's a frequency that lives in our high spiritual heart, that lives in us, and it is innate in every human being. That's why when we see and witness an act of kindness, it moves us. It opens our heart because we know we too have that within us. And when we're kind to ourselves, what happens is we soften. Just a kind, loving word, a kind embrace. What do? We relax, we open, we soften. So I'm going to show you how to work with this frequency of kindness to include your fear, include it, soften it, melt it, and be able to move through so that your fear doesn't stop you anymore, stop you from speaking your truth, stop you from taking risks, stop you from giving your gifts in the world, stop you from living fully. So it's really important that we learn to work with our fear because we all have it, and fear is natural. It's part of the human experience. In fact, anytime we're in the unknown, our human physiological system will have fear. All of us. It's very normal. So, how do we include it? All right, so we're going to do a little experiment. I want you to touch your high spiritual heart and just breathe. I want you to drop in, drop down and in. Close your eyes if it's helpful, and breathe into the high spiritual heart. And as you breathe in and out, it's as if your nose is here. So you're really bringing all your focus and attention to your high spiritual heart, which is your power, which is the source of love that you are. And this source of love has no fear. It can hold the fear, but it is fearless. And we can connect to that at any point. And I want you to imagine that there's a diamond. Many mystics point to the diamond within the Sacred Heart. And this diamond has a facet in it. And this facet is kindness, the frequency of kindness. And it begins to pour out. And I'm seeing that kindness today as a beautiful, brilliant, opalescent light. And I want you to find where you're contracted in your body, where you're holding the fear, where the energy is stuck or stagnant, wherever that is. And you can take your other hand and place it there. You can place it there if you can reach. If not, you just bring your attention to that area. And you begin to flow this frequency of kindness into that area as it begins to gently just surround it and hold it. And it welcomes whatever's there. It's not trying to make it good or bad or right or wrong. It just welcomes it. And you might notice as you send this beautiful opalescent frequency to this area that it begins to soften, to soften, to soften and open and begin to dissipate. Now, this can also affect not just your physiology, your energetic system, but your mental faculties, the mind. The mind relaxes. Your mind is so much more useful when it is relaxed, open, and receptive to the directives of your heart wisdom. Now, this kindness can be extended not only to yourself, but to the world, to those who are struggling right now, to many, many people who need this kindness, this frequency to help them to move through. So we're going to now extend it out. We're going to extend it out and we're going to hold the earth in this frequency of kindness and humanity as a whole and all her creatures and all the flora and fauna. And we're just going to send this beautiful opalescent light out, beautiful kindness out, a softening, an opening to the possibilities of wholeness, healing, of love, of a return to love. Beautiful. I hope you take this into your day, into your week, and you spread this kindness everywhere you go. Thank you so much for listening, and namaste.